What's up, family? Just want to give a quick message, real briefly. Um, I've been seeing a lot of trending going on about how Black Americans are not participating in this so-called events of protesting to bring the American justice system of deportation as well as Department of Treasury with the federal workers to a stall or some type of agreement. It's been said by the European Americans that if we get involved, because we have so much history and understanding of these types of behaviors, things will turn around faster. This is appalling to me because I never see the European Americans who are the so-called white Americans who only come out when they feel like they need help or being unjustified or the privilege card is no longer available. If Trump had did what they thought he would have done, put everybody in poverty, take away their land, and make them answer to white folks all over again, and bail out white folks who have student loans, bail out white folks who have tax evasions, bail out white folks who have behind mortgages, they'd have been smiling ear to ear and keep playing that same song like, hey, it is what it is. But he absolutely reversed it and really came after them with everything but the kitchen sink. They didn't see it coming. White Americans did not see that Trump really don't have no love for them. He really taken their everything that they worked for. They never saw that the DEI really was benefiting white women. It wasn't benefiting black folks. Now, some Latinos got some benefits out of it, but black folks didn't get a lot of benefits out of DEI. There were a lot of black folks who did receive some Section 8 and some assistance with EBT. But 98% of those people were white women who was benefiting from supplements or whatever you call Medicare, Medicaid, as well as food stamps. They were benefiting from it. So when Trump cut that DEI, it puts a damper on what they were doing because, believe it or not, there were white families who had construction businesses and it was in the husband's name, but the wife would go and get an EBT, get some food stamps. And it's facts, man. It's all coming out, right? It's facts. I'm saying that to say this. In the days that we live in, a lot of the so-called European Americans are going back to the days of old. Well, truth of the matter is, they never really changed. You have a small percentage of white Americans that really rock with black folk, and they have that John Brown spirit, and they're really going to be with us to the end. But I hate to be a bearer of bad news, because 90% of the white man, woman, and child have their ancestors' spirit, and they want to hurt you as much as possible. This is why it's foolish for a black man and woman to try to appease them to get employment. I don't know why black folks cut their locks. Did you know that our locks represent our heritage of who we are as American Indians? And whomever you want to call yourself, but that's who you are in America. Everything started in America. We didn't come over here on slave ships. We were already here. So when you try to appeal to them, to appease, to get a job, they expect you to cut your hair. They expect you to smile with every inch of effort so that you will blend in with them. When a black woman wears her natural hair, she's a threat. She's not a threat because she's violent. She's a threat because it reminds them of the days of old. And as long as a black woman stayed to her natural roots, she began to open up her chakra and see who she really is as a black woman. She's really a dominant woman of understanding and truth. Now, all of y'all don't get that title because some of y'all are just some skanks, and that's facts. But the ones that got their head together, yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with. The black man has to be separated from the black woman because he's bringing power to her as evenly yoked. This is why you have upscale and interracial marriages. The white man and the black man, you'll see the black woman crave the white man. You'll see the white woman craving the black man. That's a setup by design. As long as they can keep black folks away from each other. They'll never understand their true chakra, and they'll never understand how genetically they are powerful when they're evenly yoked. I'm not saying that a man don't love you because he's another ethnicity. No, I'm not saying that. But there will never be a true understanding with interracial, because that's not the way it was meant to be. When you have the same ethnicity, you have an understanding. So please don't leave comments and being angry because you act like I'm trying to get you to stay with someone that you don't agree with and both of y'all are about to kill each other. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you both have some understanding, like we used to have, our brothers and sisters in the 60s and 50s and so on, they had an understanding how black folks be with each other, black love. There was a powerful unit there. We understood our natural ability to stay natural. We understood our locks. We understood how to not put fillers on our skin, how to just try to appeal to people who really don't like us, but still we send our children to their house for gaming and to have birthday parties. And every time they just sitting back plotting, trying to see how can they hurt you. I don't know if you heard about this incident about a 5-year-old girl, by an 8 and 10-year-old white boy, took her by the hand. They're from the same community. Took her to an open field, put sticks in her mouth, sexually assaulted her, took all her clothes off, urinated on it, and left her for dead. Literally tried to choke out everything. And went on about their day like it never happened. And some of y'all will say, they just children, they play. No, that's the days of old. That's how their ancestors were. They hated us so much to where they looked at us as a toy, as a tool, and nothing would happen. A lot of times they get rewarded for doing such an act. I'm saying that to say this, guys. I did this message because every time white America is in trouble, they look for black folks. They say they hate black folks, the sundown towns. Why don't we go back this way? Why don't we go back that way? The truth of the matter is, every time black folks try to set up camp and make their own, they burn it down. Every time a black man and woman try to be self-sufficient, they incarcerate you. Every time we look the other way to try to help ourselves, they find a way to tax evasion. They need black Americans to keep America afloat. That's just facts. There's no way they would let black folks just leave America. And you shouldn't be angry if that's the case, because you are the originator of indigenous of American Indian. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want. And I'm not denying that if you believe that. But you have to be a complete idiot to believe that you are Hebrew and nobody in your family is Hebrew. I'm not saying that you have relatives as a Hebrew. But explain to me, you should be able to trace your bloodline. And I'm not talking about through Ancestry.com, because that's a hoax. If you really know how to trace bloodline, you can see that most of your family started in the 1900s, and they were here, man. My people, my grandfather's father was born early in the 1800s, and everything started right. He was right here. A lot of my people are from East St. Louis, Illinois, came from the Cahokia Mounds. Cahokia Mounds is known to be black American Indians. Just do the damn research, man. The whole place of America, everything started. China was here, Iran was here, Africa was here. Everything is right here. The pyramids is in Memphis. So why do we keep trying to run? I'm not telling you what to do. I just want you to understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to get you to understand that the reason there's anger and the days of old have switched because the chickens have come home to roost, because the black American man, woman, and child will no longer be put under the foots of racist Caucasians, whatever you want to call yourself, white folks. And let me just get this out the way. You're not Caucasian. Caucasian was a word that adapted from a German guy who thought that you were superior because of the skulls he was finding, that you're the first people of the earth, and that's not true. Your true origin is European. But there's also another word that they refer you as Aryan. That's why the Aryan Brotherhood exists, because of the white supremacy, because that was a former name that you had back in the day, Aryan, okay? But I'm just saying this to say this. I don't know how y'all make that interracial stuff work. And I think people do love each other, but I find it very behooving that as much shit that's going on, I don't see how you make it work. I see that most interracial children have the most confusion. I see that when a white guy get mad at a black woman, he calls her N-word. I see that when a black dude date a white chick and he's not acting accordingly, she referred to him as N-word. I don't believe that we were ever meant to race mix according to scriptures. That was the biggest problem of Solomon. He just fell in love with these foreign women and they turned him wax cold against the Most High. So I'm Yash Kira, man. These are just things I want to put out there in the YouTube world. But stop having your black children go over these white families' house and then you get on the news and cry out. No one is trying to, they kill me and say, y'all racist. No, brother, you have to have money to be racist. You have to own corporations and have money to change your ordinance of people and guide your people to the next destination. Yeah, we're prejudiced. Yeah, that's facts. We have a lot of prejudice, but this is just hateful. And the truth of the matter is, they just want you to act like it's no big deal. I'm Yash Kira. Hope this resonated with some of y'all, but be careful out there. One love.